Today we're going over the wrong way to use healing magic. The story is basically three characters: Usato, just a regular student; Susune, the president of the student council; and Kasuki, the vice president of the student council. They are summoned into a new world of the Linger Kingdom, which Usato really wasn't supposed to be one of the ones summoned. He just happened to be walking close enough to them that when the summoning circle appeared, he got caught up in it as well. They were only walking home together because he forgot his umbrella, and they were nice enough to let him share theirs. So once they're in the Linger Kingdom, they find out they were summoned because there's a demon war that's about to happen between the humans and the demons, and they summoned the heroes there to help with the war, as I guess the prophecies say. I think they've had heroes there before, but I guess all the heroes are gone, so they had to try to summon in new ones. And they do a test. They find out that they do have magic affinities. Susune, she can use lightning. Kasuki, he can use wind. I believe it's wind. Hers is easier to tell. His seems like wind, but sometimes it doesn't. Usato, he has the rarest ability ever, and that is that of healing magic. Those come around very, very rarely. And so they set out their journey to help this kingdom fight the demon tribe or demon lord. But first they have to train. Usto, being a healing magic user, gets taken up or kidnapped is more what it looks like. Everybody in the kingdom was like, we need to hide him from her. And he's like, who's her? And they're like, we just got to pretend that you don't have any magic powers because you don't want her to be training you. She's vicious. Then he's like, who is this? And like, Rose happens to hear that he is a healing user, and she takes him and says she's going to train him because she has a whole healing squad unit. But apparently not all users, not all healers, not all soldiers can handle her training. So it's nice when she finally finds Usato, who has the determination and stubbornness to keep going and be pushed hard enough to actually see results. So she basically just makes him continue to do trainings like, haul rocks, run miles and miles, while healing himself, so that as his body is getting worn out from, all this rigorous training, he's healing himself so he could continue to train. And so he basically has almost like a unlimited amount of training available to him because he can't just get worn down. He can just constantly heal himself. So until he runs out of mana, at least. So he goes through her vigorous training. He finally becomes one of the great healers who can be like her, which is extremely fast, like godlike speed, godlike strength, and also have the ability to heal. So that's pretty much it. Then they're going to be going to war with the demon side, and so they're just preparing for that. My main gripe with the show is that he really doesn't use his healing magic in any weird way, because this is, the wrong way to use healing magic. To me, he uses healing magic just like you would any normal day. He just uses healing magic to heal himself as he trains. And so I guess that's kind of apparently the wrong way you're supposed to heal magic, or use healing magic, I guess, since you're supposed to heal others. But yeah, to me, that's not really that weird. It almost seems like, okay, later on in the show, like around episode 9 or so, one of the characters says, that's not the right way to use healing magic. And I was like, there you go, there's the title. I'm thinking it almost feels like they were like, we got to we have to say this somewhere in the show, and we need our title to be this. And so they just kind of linked them together as loosely as they could. But to me, I'm like, he's not doing anything special with his magic. He's using it how anybody else would with their magic. So to me, it's not that really weird or strange way or wrong way to use a magic ability. So that was pretty much my biggest gripe with it. It's just that it doesn't seem weird or wrong how he's using his ability. Now, the story itself is pretty generic. You know, most isekai where people get summoned in as a hero to like save the day in some battle or whatever, they're all pretty much the same, and this is no different. I guess the main difference is that these characters don't seem very excited to go back home. Like, they were told that there currently isn't a way for them to return home, but that the kingdom will continue to look for a way to send them back, and that they're sorry that they summoned them, but they needed them or whatever. But the three kids really don't seem like they care. Like, I'm like, did all of them have bad home lives or something to where none of them are like, man, I wish I could go back and see my parents or something like that? They're like, no, okay, we're cool here. Within like a day, they decide to stay and start training. Like, they have no reservations. It's like instantaneous. So I guess that's slightly different than some of the isekai, where usually people are very reluctant and are forced to do this because if not, they'll get killed or something, even though they were summoned there by other people. In this one, they're just like completely down immediately and start training like the same day, basically. Susune, I can understand more why she would want to stay in this place. She's a huge like fantasy nerd, so all this is amazing to her. She also hates how much pressure she had put on her in her normal life in the human realm or in the human world, because of course she's student council president and she's pretty, so everyone is afraid of her. Like, they're like, we can't approach her, she's too good for us. Like, so she hated trying to live up to that. So I can understand why she would be excited to be in this world, but it just seems kind of weird that the other two are so quickly turned into fans of the place also. I would have to say probably my favorite characters in the series were Usato, which makes sense since he's one of the main characters, and probably Rose, because she's so mean, but you know she's not mean. She just probably has lost some soldiers in the past, and so she takes it out on herself and wants to make sure that doesn't happen again. So she trains and busts people's ass like crazy. And so she comes across as this hard-ass boss, basically. But, you know, deep down, she cares. It's just that she doesn't want to have a weak team and watch or witness anybody die. And she seems kind of cool. I mean, she picks up and throws trees during one fight. So, she's definitely one of my favorite. Susune, she's she sexually harasses Usato a lot. And she also tries to pet every animal that she sees in this kingdom, regardless of if they're dangerous or not. But she's constantly flirting or teasing Usato, to the point where if y'all were at like in an organization, at a business, HR would definitely have to have a meeting. Kazuki is the only one who's kind of normal. You can see he still has reservations about being in the new kingdom, but he wants to do his best anyway. So he agrees to stay and starts training as a knight. So he's probably the most normal in this situation. Probably would have at least the most normal reaction that most everyday person would have. I really enjoyed the voice acting in this. Everyone, even the extras, like background characters who only get like a couple of scenes, their voice acting was done really well. Of course, I watched primarily dubbed so that I don't have to sit there and read. Like if I happen to look away or something, I won't miss anything. And their voice acting was good, but of course there are Japanese with the subtitles available as well, and I believe they have other subtitled languages available too. I think the animation was pretty good. I mean, of course it's standard nowadays to have a certain level of animation, but there are still this day some animations that don't even meet that standard. This one I would say be slightly above that standard. You know, fight scenes look like they took their time to actually draw them. It's not just a bunch of shortcuts during the fights or during the show itself. All the animation was pretty much standard across the entire series. Like I don't remember seeing any drop at all in the quality, and to me the quality was high, so I definitely approve of the animation. Now, should you watch this? I think yes. If you're somebody who likes isekai stories in general, then I would say yes. This is one of the better ones. It's sure the story is similar to most other ones, but the characters are likable. The fights are good when they do have fights. There's not a ton of them in the series, but the fights are fun when they do have them. The training that he goes through is pretty funny too. Rose is a cool character herself. There's a lot of cool characters, fun characters, and the story overall is entertaining. So I would say yes if you're somebody who likes isekai, because this I think is different enough to warrant a watch. If you're somebody who doesn't like isekai, then of course don't watch this. I can't recommend it. There's not anything in this really that would be worth you watching as someone who doesn't like isekai. There's just nothing in this that I can say, oh, this is going to make you excited, so take a look at it. No, you won't like it. So if you're an isekai fan, yes, watch this. They've already announced that there's a season 2 that they're going to be making, so that's a plus. So, you know, even though this has 13 episodes, you can still watch it knowing that, you know, more episodes are coming with a second season. Because I always hate a show that I enjoy having 12 or 13 episodes and then never having another season. So this one, we already have a second season confirmed, so I am happy about that. And I watched this on Crunchyroll, but I believe it's also available on the other streaming services. If you have watched this, let me know in the comments what your thoughts were. I'm really interested in what other people think about this, because in my opinion, it's just my opinion. So I'd like to know your opinions. And before you go, hit the like and the subscribe button. I'm trying to make the channel grow so I can do this more often. But the only way I can is if you hit the like or subscribe to the channel or both. And I'll see you later.